Welcome to Sakura Stand, a game that a few people have been asking me to play for a long time, so, well, I played it. This video's not gonna have like any structure because I have no idea how I would even structure it. So yeah, the best way I can describe this game is it's like a cracked out fever dream of a video game. Like, I don't know. What I can tell you and answer the question that's on literally everyone's mind right now is no, it's not worth playing. So before you ask, is this game any good? Is it the new best game ever? No, it's not. Are you surprised? I doubt it. When do I ever come on here and recommend games? Oh, right. The one that none of you guys watched. Forgot about that. If you want the Cliff Notes version, Sakura Stand is basically just AUT. Did you think I was gonna go on? No, I'm not. It's AUT. It looks similar, it plays similar, but it's just not as good. And so if you're wondering to yourself, well, if it's just AUT, then why does this game have less players than AUT? Well, because this game is to AUT that Roblox's Unbreakable is to YBA. It's just that game, but it's not as good, so why would you play it? Doesn't mean there's nothing to talk about though, so let's actually get into it. Logging into Sakura Stand, I of course had to turn off the music because these games always have copyrighted music and I like using my own music, so I logged in, and thankfully taking a look through the settings, I could see that there were a huge plethora of options that I could choose. So, as anyone would do in this situation, I went and changed some numbers, and then they changed back. So I changed them again, and they changed back. Try and try and try as you might, you can't change these numbers. Am I just brain dead? Or did they forget to program it so you could change them? I don't know. Maybe people just don't change them, and so nobody knows that it doesn't work. Maybe there's a menu that I'm missing. Like I said, maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. I tried restarting the whole game. I came back in, I tried again, and they reset back to normal. So, I guess that the sound is gonna have to be real quiet this time around, because if it's higher, then you'll hear all the music and nonsense. I couldn't be bothered to go through and check to make sure that all the other settings were also broken, so some of those may not work. I don't have a clue. Now that we're done giving up on the settings, I gotta figure out what to do, because as is the standard for these games, they don't tell you jack. First thing I learned, Standless has a moveset, so if you don't have a stand, at least you can still play. Second thing I learned, there's this nifty little thing that shows you in the top left of your screen whether or not a combo is true and how long it's been going on. Overall, two good things. I ended up entering a building, which turned out to be a shop. I wonder if I had enough money to buy an arrow when I noticed that nowhere does it show you how much money you have. Well, how do you find out how much money you have then? Naturally, you close out of the shop window, go down to your item storage, check how much money you have, close your item storage, reopen the shop, and then buy your item. I guess it was too hard to just have your money available right there on the shop screen. I don't know why I expect like even remotely decent things from these games. I really don't. I'm not trying to nitpick. I don't come in here and I'm like, man, look at all these nitpicks I can come up with. Did nobody think at all that maybe when you go to the shop and there's a bunch of prices that you should be able to see your money? I guess not. Regardless, bought the arrow, got Emperor, game's over. Have a wonderful day night wherever you are. I'll see you next time. Yeah, we've used that joke before, I know, and I'm probably gonna use it like another 300 times, let's be honest. I mean, how can I not? It's consistently true over and over and over again. After getting Emperor, I needed to figure out what my moves were, and as is standard for games like this, nowhere does it tell you what your moves are or what they do, so the only way to find out is to mash keys over and over and over again until you hopefully figure out which each of them do. Boy, oh boy. That's my favorite. As I was walking around, this happened. Remember how I said the game was like a fever dream? Well, here's a great example. I don't even know. As I was wandering around, pondering life, I ran into the Chariot Requiem boss. The Chariot Requiem boss was probably the most riveting boss fight that I've ever participated in any game. It walks around, and when you're near it, you take damage. That's it. So, seeing as he was constantly hitting me, I shot him. And I shot him, and I shot him some more, because there's not much else I could do. And eventually, he died. What happened when he died? I don't have a clue, but I know he's dead. There's this little icon that pops up above my head. Nothing tells me what that little icon does. I'm sure if I went to an outside source like a wiki page, which these people are always telling me that I need to use in order to understand anything about any of these games, then maybe I'd have a general idea of what the hell this was. But you shouldn't have to use those to understand what's happening in the game, so I didn't. And yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but the AI in this game is hysterical. And by hysterical, I mean it's either ridiculously brain dead and doesn't work, or seems like it doesn't work, like Chariot Requiem here, or it's absolutely frame perfect and just obnoxious to fight unless you actively cheese it. Seeing as there's clearly not a whole lot of AI enemies that are just out and about, there's not a whole lot that you have to work with. And so the only enemies that I ended up finding are Chariot Requiem and some like thugs and stuff that just have the standless moveset. The thing is, because this game is AUT and every other stun simulator out there, there's always an easy auto combo that does the most damage that you're always going to go for with whatever stand you're using or ability you're using. And the same thing goes for standless. And so I guess in the eyes of the developer, they were like, well, let's program it so that way the AI always goes for the optimal combo. So they do. But they also programmed it so that the AI always blocks as soon as you go to attack it. So you've got this thing where if you run at the enemy and try to attack it with any sort of blockable move, they'll block it and then punish you with their perfection because they're never gonna screw up. They're an AI, they don't make mistakes. And so the real only way that I found to fight these guys was to just throw out block breaks, because I don't think there's perfect blocking. If there is, I'd be surprised, because some of the AIs probably should have perfect blocked me. And because they always block, you just break their block and then hit them with some moves. So it's like simultaneously way harder than it should be, but also not. It's weird. It just feels like not very great design when the way you fight the enemies is cheese them, and there's like no real other way to go about it. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Walk around some more, and yep, here we are again. Walk around a bit more than that, and this is starting to look familiar, huh? I really wanted to try out different stands, so I didn't exactly want to get rid of my current one, and I needed to find out where stand storage is. So I wandered around a whole lot more and eventually figured out that this jackass that's sitting on the edge right next to the shop is the stand storage shop. That's where you can store your stands. Now riddle me this, would it have been too hard to put a little text bubble above the stand storage guy's name that says stand storage? It's just like, what, why? I guess it would have been too hard, because they didn't do it. I ended up with Shadow of the World, and I used a move, and I shot my Space Ripper Stingy Eyes straight up into the sky. I think. I don't know. I also ran across a chest while I was playing. I walked up to it, there was an interact box, I held the interact box, and nothing happened. I tried again. Nothing happened. Now, if you've played this game before, or if you're like me and got a chest key later, you'd know that you need a chest key in order to open a chest. There are two types of items that I've found on the ground. There are boxes which have items in them, and chests which also have items in them. Now, again, I'm not looking for things to tear down, but was it so difficult to make it so that if you don't have a chest key and you go up to a chest and hold the interact button, that it tells you you need a chest key to open this chest? Because in like a bajillion other games, you just go up to the chest, hold E, and you'd open the chest. But here you can't. Not only can you not, but it gives you an interact prompt that you can't use. It's just like, what I don't know. I cycled through some more stands. I got Star Platinum. I got Crazy Diamond. I messed with some movesets, and that's when it dawned on me that I'm done. So see ya.